Hello, welcome to Kevlar's Quest, the Modern Life podcast. I'm Kevin Ejezi. Today's quest is old rules don't fit. Freedom, choices, and a new dating game. Old rules don't fit. Freedom, choices, and a new dating game. For most of history, society divided women into two categories, ladies and prostitutes. The difference was simple. Ladies waited until marriage for intimacy, while prostitutes didn't. And because the risks of pregnancy without support were so high, most women chose the path of being a lady. Back then, being a lady wasn't just about virtue, it was about survival. Without the ability to work or own property, women relied on men for long-term provision. So protecting their reputation was everything. A lady's first defense was to reject any ungentlemanly advances. So if you're ungentlemanly, they will reject it. In case you just want to come and you just want to hit it and you go. Most women will reject you. Now imagine this. A modern dating story. A man plans a nice dinner, makes the lady laugh, shows genuine interest, and after a few dates, they sleep together. Today, that sounds normal, even romantic. But to a 19th century lady, this would have been outrageous. She would have seen it as an insult, as if her worth was being priced at just 3 dinners. That's because in her world, intimacy before lifelong commitment was unthinkable. To her, that was the line between being a lady and being a prostitute. But fast forward to today, and most women don't see anything wrong with casual dating and intimacy. In fact, many proudly talk about having low body counts as proof they are still respectable. Here's the catch in all this. By the old definition, once intimacy happened outside marriage, the title of lady no longer applied, whether the exchange was for money, gifts, or simply companionship. It was still a transaction. And that's why, by traditional standards, the category of lady was basically disappeared in that kind of situation. That's why somebody once said that, last, all of us go marry Ashawo. That statement means that at the end of the day, most of us are marrying prostitutes in today's world. Statistics back this up. Only a tiny fraction of people marry as virgins today. That means fewer than 1 in 100 women could claim the old title of lady. And if the lady no longer exists, then the gentleman disappears too. Yes, if they are no longer ladies, then how can there still be gentlemen? It means that many guys these days are tout or ungentlemanly. After all, the gentleman's role was built around protecting and providing for her. Without her, his identity loses meaning. But here's the important part. This isn't necessarily a tragedy. Women fought hard to escape the restrictions that came with being a lady. They wanted freedom, choice, and independence, and they got it. The challenge now is that many want both the freedom of the modern world and the respectability of the old one. But you can't play both roles at once. Now, what's the takeaway in all this? Labels like lady and gentleman were social inventions. They worked in a world where survival depended on strict rules. But times have changed. Today, relationships aren't about fitting into outdated categories. They are about honesty, respect, and choosing the life you want. So instead of asking, where are all the gentlemen? Maybe the better question is, what kind of partner do I want? And what kind of person do I need to be in order to attract the kind of person I want in my life? Because in the end, it's not about old titles. It's about building connections that are real, meaningful, and true to who you are today. Let's be real about how dating works today. The common pattern for many women is to enjoy casual relationships in their 20s. They enjoy freedom, fun, no string attached. And then look to settle down into marriage around when they are 30. In other words, they want independence first and stability later. But here's the catch in all this. That doesn't always make sense to men. Recent trend makes this even clearer. Think about the rise of soft life culture. Everybody wants a soft life now, both women and men. They don't want any stress. Where women reject simple coffee dates or simple soda dates or a walk in the park and expect men to put in more effort. They want fancy dinners, expensive outings, thoughtful gestures. The complaint isn't that men want intimacy without marriage. The complaint is that men aren't spending enough money or effort. So what message does that send? Many women believe it shows their high value, that they know their worth. But from another perspective, it can look like they are putting a price tag on their time and affection. And compared to the old definitions of lady or prostitute, this new model doesn't quite fit either category. It doesn't fit either category. Traditionally, a woman didn't engage in intimacy outside of commitment. A prostitute did, but charged directly for it. Today, women who expect expensive dates before intimacy are caught in between. They are not following the old rules of being a lady, but they are also operating like successful professionals in the sex trade. It's a confusing middle ground. And here's the reality. In today's dating marketplace, a woman who insists on waiting until marriage for intimacy faces a tough challenge. Unless she's extraordinarily unique in other ways, most men won't pay that higher price when there are other options available. People, men and women alike, tend to choose what feels easier, cheaper, or more accessible. That's why the old definition of lady has faded. And honestly, most women don't want to go back to those restrictions anyway. The modern mindset is about freedom, doing what you want, when you want, with whomever you want. Marriage for many feels like an outdated system built on control, and it's understandable. Freedom is valuable, and no one wants to give it up. So the point isn't to argue for a return to the past. That's not possible. The genie is out of the bottle, and society has changed. The point is to see reality clearly, to recognize the trade-offs, the choices, and the consequences of the way we live and love in today's society. Because when we face reality, honestly, we can make better decisions, better relationships about commitment, about the kind of life we truly want to build, and about how we want our society to be when it comes to love and romance and marriage. Okay, that's our quest for today. Please subscribe, like, and share. Someone out there needs to hear this message. Maybe someone like you. Let's spread strength and clarity to those navigating this journey. We'll talk more in future episodes. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for listening and take care.